Hi, thanks for joining me today. We are going to go through a slow flow practice today. So I want this practice to be something that you can really use to pay attention to how your body feels in each of the poses and how your breath is moving. So we're going to hold each pose for a few breaths, again, really paying attention to how the body feels. So we're going to start seated so we can connect with our body and our breath right away. So if you have something to sit up on, a cushion or a blanket, that's helpful. You don't have to have that. You can also start this first part seated in a chair if you like, but whatever you are using, lift your sit bones up onto the edge of your blanket or cushion, or if you're seated without a blanket or cushion, same idea. You can lean a little forward, lift the sit bones up, and then come into that nice comfortable seat. Same thing in a chair. But as you settle in, find a nice length in your spine. Think of the collarbones being nice and wide. And we're going to be very mindful of what we do with the hands. We're going to place the left hand on the heart and the right hand on the lower belly. And then just gently close the eyes. So we'll take a few moments here to just notice how our body feels. And begin to notice your breath and breathing. Just gently breathing in and out of the nose. And as we move through this practice today, we will take again a few moments in each of the poses to really notice where our breath is moving. So do that now with this seated pose. Just notice as you take your inhale in through the nose, where does the breath move in the body? Does it move into the lower part of the lungs? Do you feel it expand to the sides? Just notice what you feel. And beginning to deepen the breath, letting the breath drop a little bit deeper into the lungs, longer inhales and exhales. And then very gently let the eyes open. So we're going to start on all fours. So whatever you are seated on, just move it out of the way. Let's come to table pose. So as you set up, again, just as we did seated, being very mindful of our position. So spread the fingers wide so the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips. Nice length through the crown of the head. Think of drawing the lower belly in and up. Think of drawing the lowest ribs towards the hips, so we're not letting the body sag down. Inhaling and exhaling. And then as you take your next exhale, press the mat away, round the spine. Gaze down towards the belly button as you round the spine up towards the ceiling. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Again, as you breathe, just notice where you feel the breath moving in the body. Where you feel that stretch through the back of the body, maybe the shoulders, the lower ribs. Inhaling and exhaling. And then as you take your next inhale, send the sit bones back, lengthen the front of the body. Take the gaze forward and up into our cow pose, and we'll stay here for a few breaths. So same thing, focus on noticing your breath and breathing. Feel the muscles in the back of the body working. Notice how the breath is a little bit different in this pose. And then we'll move in and out of these two poses a couple times with a breath. So as you take your next exhale, round the spine, draw the belly in, gaze towards the belly button. And then inhale, send the sit bones back, lengthening the front of the body, once again, taking the gaze forward and up. So keep that going. A few more times. Exhale. Again, moving with the breath. And inhale. Once again, exhaling. And inhale. And then this time just come back to neutral, back to table pose, and then bring the hands one handprint in front of where they were for table pose. Press again, fingertips to base of the knuckles. Make sure the hands are at least shoulders distance apart. Curl the toes under, lift the knees a couple inches off the mat. Think of drawing that lower belly in and up, so we're just engaging core muscles here for a moment. Inhale and exhale. And then begin to send your sit bones up and back. Keep the knees bent. Let the crown of the head release between the arms, coming to a bent knee downward facing dog. So again, couple breaths here, just find a shape. Maybe the knees stay bent, maybe you straighten the legs if the hamstrings are feeling good today, but focus again on your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, really think of pressing into the fingertips and the base of the knuckles. Think of drawing the lowest ribs towards the hips as you draw that lower belly in and up. And again, where do you feel the breath moving? Inhaling and exhaling. Another breath. And then begin to pedal the feet, walk the feet towards the hands and the hands back towards the feet. So you kind of land in the middle of your mat with the knees bent. You can take hold of opposite elbows here. Let the crown of the head release down. Really bend the knees so much that your chest can rest on your thighs. And we'll take a few moments in our forward bend. Same thing. Notice where the breath is moving. Notice sensations in the body. And then very gently letting the hands come to the hinge of the hip, press into the feet, draw the shoulder blades together, lengthen through the crown of the head, and we're going to come all the way up to mountain pose, to standing. Once you come up to standing, just do a little check in with the feet, so feet hip distance apart. Think of lifting the inner arch of the foot and the kneecaps and the sternum, the energy all the way up through the crown of the head. Let the hands come down by your side with the palms facing forward. So finding your mountain pose, same thing here. If you'd like, you can close the eyes or just take a soft gaze down. But as you close the eyes, again, check in with your breath, sensations in the body, feeling the connection that your body's making with the earth. And then letting the eyes open. Inhale, float the arms all the way up and overhead. As you bring the palms together, interlace the fingers. Notice which thumb is on top. Press up through the palms. Palms press up, shoulders release down. Nice deep inhale. As you exhale, reach up and over to your right. So crescent moon here. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Again, even weight in the feet. Feel that nice expansion and opening through the left side of the body. Breathe into the ribs. Inhaling and exhaling, and notice how the body feels. And then inhale, come all the way back up to center. And then exhale, reach up and over to the left. Same thing here. Notice how your body feels. Focus on the breath. Notice difference in sensation, possibly. Inhale and exhale. Get energy down through the feet, energy in the legs. And then inhale all the way back up. Exhale, release the hands down, bring the hands to the heart. So we're going to do, again, a little slow flow from the end of our mat now. So coming to the end of your mat if you're not already there. So feet hip distance apart. Once again, find your mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up. Bring the palms together. As you exhale, bend the knees, fold all the way down to that standing forward bend once again. And then this time we're going to inhale and come halfway up, lengthen through the crown of the head, draw the shoulder blades together, and then extend the fingertips out behind you like airplane wings. So palm facing up, really spread through the fingers just like we did in our table pose and our downward facing dog. Lengthen through the crown of the head, nice long neck. Inhale and exhale. Think of that, again, lowest ribs drawing towards the hips. Find that big full breath. Inhale and exhale. And now bend the knees, bring both hands down to the mat, and we're going to take a big step back with the right leg. So right leg steps back to a lunge. Lower the right knee down and curl the toes. Press into the top of the right foot. Make sure your left heel is underneath the knee. So pressing into the fingertips, think of lifting a little bit out of the shoulders. Make sure you're not dumping your weight down. If you have yoga blocks or something, a couple books or even a stool, you can have your hands on that if you'd like. Not necessary, but if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. Find that nice opening across the front of the chest. Press into the feet. Inhale the arms all the way up and overhead. So again, we'll stay here just a couple breaths. Think of drawing that left hip back. Press into the feet. Find your core. Inhale and exhale. Again, lowest ribs draw down towards the hips. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. This time as you exhale, bring both hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, step the left leg back beside the right, come to downward facing dog. Again, couple breaths here. So this time, maybe if you had the knees bent the last time, maybe you straighten the legs this time. Or again, maybe the knees stay bent if that feels better for you. Make sure, again, hands or shoulders distance apart. Couple breaths here. Notice if this downward facing dog feels different than the one we did just a few moments ago. Inhale and exhale. And then looking towards the hands, let's take a big step forward now with that right leg. So right leg is going to step forward. Lower the left knee down now. Uncurl the toes. And then left hand on the mat, or again, left hand on your block, your option. We're going to sweep that right arm up and overhead, coming into a twist. Inhale and exhale. Again, couple breaths here. So if it doesn't feel awesome for your right arm to be overhead, you can rest that hand across the tailbone, across the lower back, drawing that shoulder back. Inhale and exhale. And then release that right hand back down to the mat, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, bring the left leg up beside the right, back to that standing forward bend. Inhale, halfway up, sweep the arms back. Exhale, fold all the way down, float the arms up to the side, coming all the way up. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Couple breaths here. Notice how you feel. Again, notice where the breath is moving in the body. And then once again, excuse me, inhale, arms floating up and overhead. Palms together. Exhale, the hands to the heart. Fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway up again. Sweep those arms back like airplane wings. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulder blades together. Exhale, bend the knees. Bring the hands down to the mat. Now step back with the left leg. So left leg steps back to our lunge. Lower the left knee down and curl the toes. So right heel under the knee. Again, maybe up on the fingertips. Maybe up on your blocks, or again, a little stool. Inhale and exhale, widen across the collarbones, lengthen through the crown of the head, and then pressing into the feet, float the arms out to the side, come all the way up, arms extend overhead. Think of drawing that right hip back. Inhale and exhale. Again, couple breaths here, find your foundation. Inhaling and exhaling. Excuse me. And then as you take your next inhale, again, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes under, lift that back knee, right leg back beside the left. Again, downward facing dog. So maybe try something a little different this time. Maybe bring the feet to the edges, outside edges of the mat. Try a really wide downward facing dog. See how that feels. If that doesn't feel awesome for your body, then come back to, again, just hip distance apart. But just maybe play around a little bit, see how that feels. Inhale and exhale. So if you did bring the feet wide, go ahead and bring them back hips distance apart. And then we're going to look towards the hands. We're going to take a big step forward with the left leg this time. So left leg's going to step forward, lower that right knee down. And then again, right hand's going to stay on the block, or excuse me, on the mat or on the block. And then we're going to bring that left arm up and overhead, taking our twist to the left. So as you twist, make sure your heel that knee stays right over top of the heel. Inhale and exhale. If you'd like, you can curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, your option. Inhale and exhale. Make sure that doesn't affect your breath. And then releasing that hand again back down to the mat. If you have that back knee lifted, go ahead and step the right foot up beside the left, or lift that left knee if you still had it down to the mat. Inhale, halfway up, sweep the arms back, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold all the way down, float the arms out to the side again, coming all the way up, palms together. Exhale, the hands to the heart. Inhale and exhale. So we have one more little sequence. Let's turn sideways on the mat, so facing the long edge of your mat, and take a nice big step side to side. So as you step side to side, toes pointing towards the long edge of your mat, think of pressing into all four corners of the feet, ball joint of the big toe inside of the heel, ball joint of the little toe outside of the heel, with a tiny bit more weight in the inside so your ankles don't roll out. We're going to bring the hands right to the hinge of the hip, lift the sternum, lengthen up through the crown of the head, and folding forward at that hinge, we're going to take a little forward bend here. So let the knees bend a little bit. Sorry, allergy season here. And then fold all the way down, the crown of the head, release down. If it feels better for some support, you can keep your hands resting on the thighs or on the shins, or again, fingertips down to the mat, but just take a few breaths here, that forward bend. Inhale and exhale. Notice where your breath is moving. Notice the sensations in your body. And then pressing into the feet, bring the hands to the hinge of the hip. Lengthen through the crown of the head, come up with a nice long length in the spine. And once you come up, let's turn the right foot towards the end of the mat. Hips level, bend the right knee. If your right knee shoots past your ankle, walk that foot out a little further. We're going to think of aiming the right knee towards the pinky toe, and our feet are as if they are on a tightrope. So the heel of the front foot is pointing at the arch of the back foot. Arms out to your side, come to warrior two. Look out over your right middle finger. So same thing here. Let's find that breath, that sensation, awareness to sensation. Inhaling and exhaling, and really think of pressing down into the feet, energy in the legs. Imagine that you're trying to tear your mat in half, the right foot going forward and that left foot going back. Inhale and exhale. And then very gently bend the front elbow, turn the palm to face up, place that elbow hinging at the right hip, place that elbow onto that right thigh, and then sweep that left arm forward, up, and alongside the ear. Option to keep the arm at 12 o'clock or even rest the hand across the lower back. So several options there, but same thing. Find your breath, think nice long length in the neck. Inhale and exhale. That nice stretch and length through the left side of the body. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. So we're going to do a little transition here. If you have that arm either on your back or overhead, we're going to start to bring that hand down. We're going to bring it back down to the outside of the right foot. Bring the right hand to meet it, and we're going to walk ourselves to the opposite side. So spin the right toes back forward, walk yourself over towards the left, turn the left foot out, bend that knee. We're going to rest to the hand, that elbow on that thigh, and we're going to bring ourselves back up into our side angle on the second side. So again, arm can be at 12 o'clock, it can be up alongside the ear, your option, or resting across the lower back. Find your breath. Find a posture that feels awesome for you. You know, maybe it's here, maybe it's here, maybe it's here. Inhale and exhale. Again, really find that energy in the legs. Inhale and exhale. So think of using your breath and the energy in the body to help you feel like you're not leaning into this leg. You really think of that, the breath supporting you. Then press into the feet. Inhale, come back up to warrior two now. Think of that again. Knee is aiming towards that pinky toe, arms out to the side. Inhale and exhale. And then gently straighten the front leg, bring the hands to the hips. Turn the toes back to center. Once again, just do that little forward bend, bend the knees, hinge forward at the hips. As you release down, notice if this forward bend feels any different than the first one, again, that we did just a few moments ago. Inhale and exhale. And then hands again to the hinge of the hip, lengthen through the crown of the head, come all the way up to standing. Once you come to standing, just heel toe the feet back to your mountain pose. So as you come into mountain pose, pressing down through the feet, let's once again bring Left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Close the eyes, or just soft gaze if that feels better for you. Just soft gaze down. But just, again, connect with your breath. Notice how you feel. Notice if the breath is moving differently in the body, if there's different sensations. And very gently bring both hands into a prayer position in front of your heart. Gently let the eyes open. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this slow flow movement. Again, even when we're moving slowly through poses, you know, the breath is still moving the body with each inhale and exhale. So a very interesting dynamic, and it really allows you to pay attention to what your body's doing in each of the poses and how the breath is moving. So again, I hope you enjoyed that. Please give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel, and check out all my offerings at GreyHorseYoga.com. The information is below in the comment section. And I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks. Bye-bye.